What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video I got a bit of a different one for you guys. Wanted to give you guys a quick update on my own personal journey and what I've been working on recently. And as you can tell by the title, my next biggest project has been trying to become a 7-figure funded day trader. Now, when I first started trading, I never would have thought this would have been possible, but through what are known as prop firms, this is not only possible, but very doable. So let's dive in and I'll show you how. So I wanted to start this video by going over what prop firms actually are. So prop firms are essentially firms that will provide you with starting capital in exchange for fees. Now, these fees come in 3 different ways. One is a monthly fee for you to start a test and to try and pass the test, along with resets just in case you do fail the test. The second fee will be the activation fee for when you actually do pass the test. And then the third fee will come as a percentage of profits that you make once you are funded by the prop firm. So we have an example here. This is Apex Trader. I think they're a great company. I like the way they operate. Now, essentially, the way it works is you'll have to go and select a plan, right? So you'll have options to choose from: a 50K account, 75K, 100K. They have a lot of options. The account that you choose is really going to depend on the style of trader you are and what you're really trying to accomplish. Obviously, each of these comes with their own profit targets and things that you can do with each account. So the bigger the account that you have, the more drawdown you'll be able to work with, which basically means how much money you can lose before you blow that account. But the profit goal and the profit target to actually hit for these larger accounts will be much larger. So unless you're using a ton of size or a ton of contracts, it's going to take you longer. And if you're willing to take the risk per trade, then that's fine. But they also have things that are like the 50K account, which only require about a $3,000 profit target. But at the same time, you don't get as much of a drawdown, or you don't get as much room to lose trades with the smaller accounts. So you've got quite a bit of options with Apex. You can sign up for the Rhythmic plan, or you can also sign up to use their Tradeovate plans. Their Tradeovate plans are actually a little bit more expensive. So it really depends on what you like to use in terms of the platform, the software that you guys want to use to trade, but they're both very good options. So why are prop firms useful? I think it's a great way to start day trading, especially if you don't have a lot of capital saved up. So especially for people that have a steady income or like a day job and they're trading on the side, it's a great way to kind of jumpstart your trading career. Especially if you don't have a ton of money saved up already. You can use your day job to basically fund a lot of these monthly valuations and then trade them and pass them as you go, since you still have a day job with a steady income. Another reason why they're very useful, it's great for people that don't want to risk their own money. If people are a little more risk averse and they want to preserve capital, they can use prop firms to fund their day trading without them having to put up a lot of money up front. So it's kind of like the same reason for the first example, but it's a little bit different, where you might have the money saved up, but you don't want to put it all up to go day trade. And thirdly, I think prop firms are very good for people that, if they do have a little bit more experience day trading, for people that want to command a lot of capital to increase their payouts or increase their profits. What that means is that, and I'll go into this a little bit more in the video, but what that means is that you'll be able to stack a lot of these accounts and trade them all at once and basically multiply your profits if you are to make profits, right? You multiply your profits and then at the same time multiply your withdrawals. So to be honest, I think most traders should at least look into using prop firms. Like the reasons that I mentioned earlier, people that don't want to risk their own capital, people that don't have a lot of money saved up to help or to get them started in day trading, newer traders especially that want to move out of just paper trading and actually get into the markets with some skin in the game, a little bit of monthly fees. It's not a lot, but it's still, they're paying money to actually day trade. So it brings in that psychological factor, that emotional factor that you have to learn how to overcome. So I think newer traders might find this an intermediary step before going fully live with a full account of their own money. I think this is a great way to kind of dip their toes into the water before they, jump fully in. So if you're a profitable day trader, I really don't think there's a lot of cons to using prop firms. Some cons that come to mind: you have to follow their rules. So they're very strict with their rules, and if you break one, then you basically lose an account or the evaluation, and you have to start all over. There are other less reputable prop firms that have gone under, which have really screwed over some of the day traders that use them. They basically lost all their profits and all the work that they've done. So prop firms are still definitely worth using, but you have to know which ones are reputable, which ones are trustworthy, and which ones are just good prop firms to use. So some of the prop firms that I've used in the past in my personal trading journey are Top Step. I think Top Step's one of the best ones out there. They're very straightforward with their rules, with their profit targets, their withdrawals. So that's all you can really ask for when you're using prop firms. The only downside that I have with them is that they only allow you to get up to 3 or to trade 3 accounts at the same time. So that's kind of limiting in terms of what I'm trying to do. But I still think they're a very good prop firm. And I think, if you are interested in trading with prop firms, I think it's a great place to start. The other prop firm that I really, really like and I've just kind of gone into is Apex. So I've known about Apex for a while, and they've been around the game forever. But Apex is a prop firm that allows you to have multiple accounts. So the max that they cap it at is 20 accounts, which is my goal for this next project of becoming a 7-figure funded trader. Only thing that I have to get used to, because I've primarily used Top Step in the past, is Apex's trailing threshold. It's definitely something that I have to be aware of, but it's nothing that's probably gonna be too difficult to handle. So as of right now, I have funded accounts with Top Step. I have I think a total of 4 accounts. 2 are activated, 2 are kind of just on standby, waiting to be activated. And then I started evaluations with Apex last week, utilizing their 80% off sale, which is still going on until next week. And I will post a link in my description for you guys to be able to access and get that 80% off of any of those evaluations. It's also a 1-day pass, which is pretty insane, meaning if you hit a home run trade and you hit that profit target, then you pass it in a day. I think it's one hell of a promotion, and I think all you guys should try and take advantage of it while it lasts. So my main focus will be on passing as many of these evaluations as possible with Apex so that I can start building my portfolio essentially of funded accounts with Apex. Max is going to be 20, but that is the goal. I might trade my Top Step funded accounts from here and there, but I think I'm going to be focusing mainly on my Apex evaluations. So let me go over some of the math that is behind my plan. The plan is, like I said, is to get 20 accounts, right? I want to be buying, I'm planning on buying 3 accounts, so batches of 3. And this is kind of how that looks. So 3 accounts right here, 71% off deal. It's going to cost about $162. 80% off, which we have right now, is at $112 for 3. And then they had a 90% off deal a little while ago, which comes out to $56 for 3, which is an insane deal. There's also activation fees that are going to be about $315 for the Tradeovate accounts, for 3 accounts for the monthly. And then if you want to go with the lifetime, that's going to cost about $480 for 3. So, these will change. I can change these by this right here. So 5 accounts would costs about almost $1,000 just to activate. So that's kind of why I wanted to focus on just doing 3, because just in terms of budget, it's a lot more reasonable. I'm not going to be dropping, you know, $1,000 purely on activation fees to kind of get it going, but that is the plan for now. And then once it gets going, I'll probably just reevaluate and see what I can change or what I can improve. So that's the plan. I plan on really only buying these during at least the 80% off promotions. I think that's a great deal. And they come around pretty often. So like I said, if you guys are interested in checking that out, I'll have a link in the description that you guys can use to buy them. I think it ends next week on the 27th. So that'll be the last day to get in on this 80% deal. But it's a great deal. This is, oh, by the way, this is for the 50K accounts only, which is what I'll be focusing on and what I'll be purchasing and trying to pass. So some of you guys might be wondering or asking, why don't I just get one 150,000 account? It's really because, for a few reasons. I think the 50Ks are a lot easier to pass. And I think it's better to spread risk throughout multiple accounts rather than trading massive size within one account. Even though the drawdown is larger, but that's just the way I trade. That's just the way I feel. I feel more comfortable doing it that way. And I don't have to use massive size when I trade. And that is definitely a psychological factor in the way I trade. Knowing that I have a 5 contract trade going versus just multiple 1 contract trades within accounts or multiple accounts going. So now what happens once I get my accounts funded, right? So the plan is to get 20, and the plan is to trade copy all of them. Meaning if I place a trade on one account, it'll be copied all over to the other 19 accounts. So they all get executed at the same time, and then I can get out of the trade all at the same time. There might be a little bit of slippage, but it won't be anything too crazy. So per day, I'm going to be looking to make maybe $200 to $300 per account, and then call it a day there, right? So it might not sound like a lot to you guys right now because it's, you know, it's $200. But if you take into account how many accounts that's being spread out to, so let's say there's 20 accounts, right? That's $4,000 in one day made through 20 accounts, right? Just from $200 made. Now, after 10 days of trading, which is the period that you need to trade in order to request a withdrawal from Apex, that's $40,000 that you can request, given that you've hit $200 for 10 trading days straight. And then you need to have another 10 days of trading after your first withdrawal request. That's a total of $80,000 in 20 days, 20 trading days. So about a month, right? And then I also, just for fun, I did the total annually, and that comes out to almost $1 million, right? So the numbers are there. It's pretty crazy to think about. I definitely need to make sure I don't get ahead of myself, because obviously trading is a game of risk, and I'm not going to be winning every single day, but it's really going to force me to be consistent. It's really going to force me to take base hits and get in and out as quickly as possible so that I don't expose myself to the market more than I need to. But this is kind of what the plan is, you guys. This is why I am trying to become a 7-figure funded trader, to be able to leverage more capital to make more profit, right? Doesn't mean I'm going to be putting in 5 contract trades per account. All I need to do is aim for the small wins, the base hits, and multiply that throughout all 20 accounts, and then just build from there, right? It's not going to require me to make the home run trades that I've, been accustomed to, being an ICT trader, going for the 1 contract, $1,000 trades, which are still great, but there's more room for error and there's more room for reversals. So this will help kind of reduce that and just kind of reduce my risk exposure when I'm in a trade. So even if I don't have 20 accounts, let's say I have 10 accounts, right? The numbers are still insane, right? Even just with $200, you still make $2,000 with 10 accounts. After 10 days of trading, it's about $20,000. And then after a full month, it's about $40,000, given that you're consistently hitting $200 base hits. That's still insane, right? Like you can still use 5 and you're still hitting some insane numbers, right? So this is why I really want to be focusing on this and building this out. You can make life-changing money with just 5 accounts, right? So this is just the power of the multiplier, right? Using multiple accounts, base hits, and I mean, some days maybe I make more than $200, right? Let's say I make $250 and you increase that even more. So that's the reason why I really want to be focusing on this. This is my next big project. And the goal is to hit those 20 accounts. So what are the cons? Let's go over the cons of this trade copying method, utilizing 20 accounts to trade copy a single trade through all of them. One is you're not only making the trades through all 20 accounts, but you're also risking, right? So if you lose that trade on one account, you're going to lose that trade on all of the accounts. So there's a possibility that if you have a bad day, you might lose all of your accounts all at once. So it's definitely going to take some getting used to. I'm going to have to play around with how I do with maybe 3 accounts trade copying or 5 accounts trade copying, just to get going with the psychological effects and teaching myself how to basically cope with leveraging multiple accounts and then maybe sort of build from up there. But it's going to take some getting used to, and it's going to take some playing around with for me to get right. So that's definitely a con, but I definitely suggest that if you do want to trade copy, that you have an edge, that you know what you're doing, that you have some experience and a set strategy before you go and trade copy all of your accounts, right? You definitely don't want to get into, you definitely don't want to go into this with your 20 accounts funded and then you just happen to lose all of them in the first week. I've done that a few times. It's terrible. It ruins all momentum, or slows down and gets rid of all momentum that you've had. And then it just having to start all over again is not very fun. So make sure that you have a sound strategy before you go into this full steam ahead, and make sure that you have full confidence in what you're doing, right? Because the minute you don't is when you start losing trades. So there you have it, you guys. That is the goal for 2024. It's to become a 7-figure funded trader through Apex Trader. I want to get to 20 accounts eventually, and then start going for those base hits to make that $200 to $300 days, and then multiply those and trade copy those throughout all 20. So that is a goal. It is going to take some work. It's going to take some time. It's definitely a marathon and not a sprint, just like all of trading. I need to take these evaluations pretty seriously and make sure that I can get the process started as quickly as possible without any hiccups or steps backwards. But I'll keep you guys updated along the journey with the evals, let you guys know if I pass one or if I blow one. And hopefully I get a payout soon with Apex in the future. But like I said, I have a link in the description for that 80% off if you guys want to hop on this train with me. But in the meantime, thank you guys for stopping by. If you liked the video, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And last but not least, good luck with your trading, and I will see you guys next time.